Ahead, a pair of downbeat reports on the U.S. economy, an offer from Warren Buffett to members of Congress, and Robin Hood on the catwalks of Rio later in the show. Here's your morning briefing for this Thursday. Not a lot to smile about in U.S. retail sales and jobless claims. Retail sales rose slightly overall, but excluding autos, they actually fell 0.2% when a gain of 0.3 was expected. It's the first decline since May of 2010. Weekly jobless claims rose much more than expected to our number of the day, 399,000. Thomson Reuters IFR Markets points out it may just reflect job cuts of temporary workers hired for the holiday season. Stocks to watch today include Dow Components Chevron, the oil giant giving a fourth quarter profit warning in part due to lower refining margins. And Target, which announced a new $5 billion share repurchase program and said it expects to continue to grow its dividend. While Target is buying shares, Warren Buffett is offering to pay down debt, the U.S. debt. Buffett telling Time magazine he would donate $1 to pay down the national debt for every dollar donated by a Republican in Congress. Buffett has said the rich ought to pay more in taxes. He offered $3 for every dollar Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell paid. McConnell said earlier that if Buffett felt guilty about paying too little in taxes, he should send in a check. An aide to McConnell said Buffett should extend his offer to Democrats. Well, debt, always a big topic in Europe. Maybe we should see if Warren Buffett will make an offer there. ECB head Mario Draghi making comments today about the crisis after a meeting of the central bank. Axel Threffel joins us from London. So, Axel, anything new or noteworthy?
Nothing particularly new. And by the way, on the Buffett comment, boy, do we need it over here. A wait-and-see mode again from the ECB. No change. The rate stays at 1%. No surprises, really, given back-to-back cuts, as well as this slew of other measures that it announced late last year that are showing some signs of helping. Small signs, I might say. In the press conference, Draghi confirmed that the rate decision was unanimous. He said ongoing market tensions continue to hit growth. The outlook remains subject to high uncertainty and substantial downside risks. So central bank speak, Jen, for things still look shaky. We're watching and we're ready to act if necessary. Little reaction from the markets. Shares looked pretty good earlier, but they did come off a bit on the back of the U.S. jobless numbers, as you've been talking about. We had been at a 5-month high earlier on the back of a successful Spanish auction. So they've come off a little bit.
Well, banks have also been hurting, and we've been hearing all these rumblings about people saying, oh, we're going to, get out of investment banking. But it actually looks like we might have the first to do so.
Yeah, I mean, RBS, the Royal Bank of Scotland, has abandoned its plans to at least be one of the top investment banking players. It's going to cut another 4,500 jobs, basically bowing to pressure from the UK government to shut down risky operations. Remember, Britain owns 83% of RBS after pumping about £45 billion into the bank to keep it from going under. So it's clearly bowing to pressure from the government. It's going to stop trading shares. It's going to stop advising on M&A deals. This bank has cut 34,000 jobs since the CEO was brought in. Stephen Hester was brought in to turn it around back in 2008. So big changes at RBS, maybe the first of several this year, Jen.
Very interesting, Axel. We'll see if we can talk to Warren Buffett for you.
Yeah.
21 newly pardoned inmates in Mississippi who thought they were getting out of prison are still in jail. They're among the more than 200 convicts former Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour pardoned as he was leaving office this week. A judge has now blocked their release and has ordered 5 others who've already been freed to appear at a hearing in January. The judge acted hours after the state's attorney general sought an injunction to prevent the early release of clemency recipients, some of whom were convicted of murder, rape, and armed robbery. Now, on the lighter side, for our video of the day, it may look like a plane or a boat, but it's neither. It's a solar car preparing for a race in the Chilean desert later this year. Vehicles will try to navigate a 658-mile course as part of an effort to make Chile a solar technology leader. And finally, Robin Hood on the runway. Designer Thiago Marcon showcases hats and darker colored clothes, an homage to the character with a touch of fake fur thrown in at a Rio fashion show. While the Coven collection features geometric patterns and handwork inspired by the Mayan civilization, models wearing earth tone and golden skirts and dresses walk to a Spanish soundtrack. And you hear my soundtrack in the background, which means it's time for me to walk out of here. I think that's your morning briefing for this Thursday. I'm Jen Rogers, and this is Reuters.